Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hello. Good morning from Hong Kong. 10 a.m. Hong Kong. Here we are. And it's working. There's some comments. Hello. Hello, Marcia. Hi, Shelly. Good morning, Tokyo. Yes, it is morning. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Linda. It says I've decided to do roll call. So just for a few minutes saying hello. Hi, Diana. Hi, Memi Yogi. Hi, Liz. Good morning, Seoul, Korea. Good morning, Falu. Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Melbourne. Hi, Joing. Hi, June. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Jackie. Bueller. Bueller's Bueller there. Good morning. Hi, Rachel. Good morning, Australia. Hi, Mary. Su Ling. Pei from Singapore. Yes. A and J. Morning, Nikki. Good morning, Victor. Good morning, Macau. Great. Hi, Deb. So one of the difficulties is the handles, all the names in Instagram aren't the names of the people. So I'm trying to remember, who's that again? The Fabric Workshop. Boom. At Los Angeles. Hi, Jim. Hi, Mark. Hey, cuz. LA. Okay. So I'm gonna leave the comments on and go into my talk. This is the fifth yoga talk. Yoga talk number 5. I think 5. Is it 6? I think it's 5. And I'm doing them every day at 10 o'clock. And I have been presenting some of the basic practices that have helped me sort of form a stable path for yoga. And the interesting thing I find is that over the years, the fundamental principles of yoga translate to everything. So even though I may be talking about getting up and doing pranayama and meditating, and sometimes, other people get up and go for a run, or get up and go boxing, whatever it may be. But the principles of yoga stipulate a few key ideas to remember. One is that the yogic state begins with what we call a sattvic mind. So that the state of yoga begins from having a sattvic mind. And a sattvic mind is described as a serene, a calm, and awakened mind, an illuminated mind. So it's like those states where we're completely awake, but we're dead calm. And that is, hi Jim, that is difficult to attain. We know in life, it's difficult to attain, to be completely awake, like radically awake, and dead calm. That's the serene and illuminated state of a sattvic mind. And so the yoga teachings say that that's where we begin. That's not the goal, that's where you begin. So I was thinking about this, and it's interesting because a lot of us, myself included, but it seems that a lot of us in life are constantly starting our day trying to clear out the bad, doing cleanses, doing workouts, getting organized, and then once we are sort of cleansed, then hi Serene, yes, I just called your name. Then when you get clear after a workout, after having gone for a walk, after having done our yoga, then we somehow switch that off and go into a state of taking stuff in again, taking in, toxic stuff, information, having difficult conversations that leave us filling ourselves with food or distractions, and we kind of build up this container filled of things that the following day we have to begin again and clear out. So there is this teaching, there's this wisdom in this idea that the sattvic mind is where the yoga begins. And so we want to build a practice not only just in the beginning of the day that sets us up for a good day, but some kind of practice that can help carry us through the day. So I've talked about having the evening ritual of writing out the following day. Hi, Cora. The evening before, writing out the day plan for the next day. And something that I've incorporated in my day plans is having certain ritualized blocks in the day. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Singapore. Having ritualized blocks of time in the day, meaning that if I wake up at 6 a.m. and then I have it's usually my first hour is a block of rituals like pranayama meditation, oil pulling, coconut oil in the mouth, which I highly recommend everyone do oil pulling. Hi, Mavis. And apple cider vinegar for my digestion. And then I read, and then I do some reading and journaling. And I do all that in the beginning. But then I used to kind of be done that and feel like, okay, now I'm good. I can do anything. It's kind of like doing a big workout and then feeling like I can eat anything now. I can eat, McDonald's or whatever. I mean, no offense, but there are good things and there are less good things. So there's this next stage of stability in our practices, which means we don't want to lose the great value or traction that we get from the end of a practice ritual, the end of the morning routine that you have. You don't want to just let it go. So then what I do is I build in these ritualized time blocks throughout the day. I read a lot more these days. So I have these time blocks of 30 minutes that I scheduled in to read. 12:30, I schedule in 30 minutes of reading. And then 5 o'clock, I schedule in 30 minutes of reading. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually not. Once I get reading, it's 30 minutes goes like that. And in one day, I've read for an hour. And what's the metric is 1 minute of reading per day equals one book. So, I use these things to help motivate me, but also I find this ritualized time blocking helps me carry over my intentions of the morning throughout the day. So it's not just get something done, and then carry on. But instead, you have these markers to sort of anchor you back into a sattvic mind state. Reading something really helpful, informative, interesting, beautiful, and it brings your mind back in. And then you do your things, and life is filled with many things that we have to do, lots of work, duties, responsibilities, and so there's an intermittent sort of a relay where you have a ritualized practice, then you have hours of things you got to do, and then a ritualized practice and hours of things you have to do. And right now with my schedule of teaching in the morning and teaching in the evening, I like that a lot. And yet it also requires that I take some rest through the day. Otherwise I'd be super exhausted and dead. So I have scheduled in little pockets of nothing where I have to not be on the phone, not be on the computer, not be reading a book, whether it becomes a nap or whether I just relax for half an hour, whatever. And it creates this hi Katerina, creates this over time, this balance. And the balance that we're seeking, again, is to be in this greater state of sattvic quality of mind. Now, if the sattvic mind is the calm, serene, illuminated state of mind, one of the things that we need to do in order to achieve that is to declutter. Got to declutter. Clutter in life is seriously costly. Clutter is seriously costly. Clutter in your house, clutter is costly because you can't find stuff, so you waste time. It's hard to get. The important things are busy with the unimportant things, but clutter in the mind and in the plan, very costly. So things are just like thrown together without much foresight or forethought. It becomes costly, and the challenge of clutter is that we have strong desires for lots of good things. So clutter is not as easy to recognize, which I find interesting. Clutter is not easy to recognize. Hello, Israel. Hi, Soso. Hi, Bali. Clutter is not easy to recognize because you can have a house filled with very good things. But if it's too much, if it's too many things, doesn't matter. It will kill you. It will kill your productivity, your efficiency. It'll kill your intimacy with relationship with the most important things. So minimizing is a challenging task, but it is vitally important. And so I find there's like a two-phase minimizing process that I apply. One is to my environment outside, and one is to my mind inside. Cluttering the outside can be really refreshing. What is it, Marie Kondo, whatever. Get rid of things and all that. That can be super productive. And we're at home, we have lots of time, so it's like clearing stuff out. It's like feels fresh. And I tell you, there's no denying that Marie Kondo's success proves the fact that we are all cluttered. And when we declutter, we feel light. And light is an aspect of sattva. Sattvic mind is a light mind. It's not cluttered, it's not heavy, it's light. So your the relationship to external environment, it plays a big role on our mental state. So there is that piece. And decluttering, decluttering your plans when you're writing your night plan, making it simple. Block time, block rituals, set things up, and try to stick to it. Because intentionality is satisfying. Remember? Intentionality is satisfying. So now, the decluttering of the mind, and the decluttering of the body is a major theme in Hatha Yoga. Purification. To purify, we say purify, but we could say declutter if we want to talk in more, pragmatic terms. Declutter. Decluttering the mind, decluttering the body is purifying. And to purify, we will go through discomfort. It's like getting rid of clothes, getting rid of old furniture. It's like, oh, but I love it. Maybe I'll use it in like once a year and that's enough. Gone. Hi, Josie. So decluttering the mind and the body. Purification. It requires discomfort. The process is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. And yoga is the prime example in my life that if we become attached to the comfort of our stuff outside and our ways inside, the comfort, it becomes like a prison. What do the Stoics say? That comfort is the highest form of slavery. Comfort. It's like the attachment to comfort. And so every day it's baby steps. Remember, incremental improvement is the goal. Incremental improvement. We're not going for huge gold medals in this. We want to go incrementally. And incremental improvement in the purification means baby steps, but every day we have to go into the process that we can recognize. We recognize the process because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. And and when there is a process that is purifying us, the beginning stage is more uncomfortable. The later stage starts to feel, there's a feeling of like satisfaction. There's a feeling of okay. There's a feeling of, come here. Want to say hello? Hello. Okay. There is a feeling of elation that comes from it. If you've ever done a juice cleanse or a fast, some kind of fast, hi Allie. If you've ever done a fast or a juice cleanse, the first days are, at least for me, they're terrible. It's like, I just want to eat like everything, like salt and vinegar and potato chips, like all day long. Like just give me like a stick, I'll eat a stick. But as the days go on, as you start to release toxins and you start to eliminate the clutter of the body mind, it starts to feel super good, like really good. And this experience of purification is the primary act of deepening our relationship to the understanding of what we want. That terrible question of, what do you want? Yes, a stick. I eat sticks when I'm cleansing. That question of what do you want? What do you want? It sucks. That's a terrible question. It makes you suffer. Sleepless nights. And I come back to this because now everyone's writing about the stick. Shut up about the stick. I'm not making that joke again. Stick cleanses. But the ability to go through experience of discomfort, to purify the mind's clutter, to purify the body, to explore how can we clear the body mind like we would clear our closet or our kitchen cabinet. How do you clear? Like, we don't even know what the clutter is in there until we're in the process. Hi, Matt. Until we're in the process, in the pose, suffering, in the, whatever we're doing, we're suffering. You're in it, you're like, ugh, and you're like, you deeply don't want to be in it. There's something in our brain that's like, no, I'd rather be comfortable. But the thing is, when you start to go through that purification process, what comes is this deeper contact with yourself, certainly with your will. You make deeper contact with your will, the ability to withstand difficulty. There's willpower right there. And it's not always like choosing like the things we like to do to suffer. But it's like finding ways like to cleanse the mind, to declutter the mind body. And when you do, not until then, do we have contact with what we could say is like this deeper state of wisdom. Like, knowing what you want might be difficult. But through this purification and through this decluttering, we start to know what we don't want. And sometimes that's enough, at least for a while. Yeah, Warrior 3. It's like knowing what you don't want can be deeply helpful. And you can't really know until you declutter mind, body, declutter your environment, and have a moment without it to know, like, you know what? Actually, I don't want that. Like, how many people stopped eating like gluten after it became a trend and realized, wow, I feel better. I mean, nothing against gluten. I love gluten. I eat it all. Gluten sticks. That's just like number one. But it's like when you declutter and you start clearing things out, that you start to experience, wow, I don't want that in. People or things or places. I don't want that in, because not until it's gone do we know. We are so willing to take things on. I suffer that. Like, say yes to everything. Take things on. Buying things, eating things, taking on all types of things, doing all types of practices, choosing all types of places and people. And yet we have such a hard time decluttering and purifying clearing things out. Look at the messages, you suckers. 10 croissants. Oh, Kel, you're eating all the gluten. but the reality is that with yoga, the goal being a sattvic mind, a serene, calm, and illuminated mind. When you're in that state, that illuminated state of mind, you're not thinking about your sore stomach. You're not thinking about your sore knee. You're not thinking about, all the things you didn't get done today. So the internal clutter and the external clutter are constantly fighting, and our mind is suffering the results. And so to declutter tiny bit every day, declutter a tiny bit every day, both your environment and your body mind. Declutter. Clutter is seriously costly. Have one book beside your bed, not 6. I have 2, but the purification of yoga is an old tale. We've all heard it, and it seems sort of out there. But when you realize that when you're decluttered, when you're purified, your compassion goes way up. When you are purified, mind and body, even a little bit, your compassion goes way up because you become more sensitive. And sensitivity is the gateway towards compassion and wisdom. And compassion and wisdom, these are high virtues on the path of yoga. And they provide a much better experience in life. Much better experience in life. Wisdom and compassion. Those are things that you want to have someone experience as a result of being around you, So then it's not easy. When we're cluttered, we're insensitive, it's tough, it's hard. So, Cora just asked, do you read one book at a time? I now read 2 books at a time. I have one that is information-based and one that is story-based. And the story can either be biography or fiction or anything like that. But I have one that's information-based and one that's story-based. And they balance each other out. So, I'm gonna leave you with a quote from Carl Jung, the famous Carl Jung, the great psychotherapist who is when you read about him, the dude was a yogi. He was a total yogi. He was a serious yogi. So Carl Jung, he said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. And you will call it fate. And I think about that. I think about how easy it is for me or for people to think, there's only so much that I can do to direct my life. There's only so much I can do. And so we just keep taking things on and working hard. But when we declutter the mind, that is the path of consciousness. When you declutter, when you purify your body mind, consciousness goes up, sensitivity goes up, wisdom goes up. And in that way we less defer to this idea like I can't do anything about it. And we start to realize the sphere of our control. Because it becomes illuminated, what we can do, our power, what we can do. Okay? Mount Kailash, bada bing, bada boom, the axis of the universe. Okay, I'm gonna do a level 2 practice. We start in 5 minutes. I'm gonna do a level 2 practice. I'm gonna do some hip opening and some inversions, some standing poses and some inversions. A more restorative practice today. So you want to have all your props out. And Bob Z, Bobsy, yo. And I'd like to hear comments from you. If you guys write me in Instagram, I will reply. I'm replying to everybody as best I can. And hi Susan, hi Elise, and Carl Jung is Jung. Yeah, Joing is Carl Jung, Jung. Yeah, you're welcome, Cal. It's so great you're here. I love seeing your name, man. Yeah, Marco, awesome. And Shane always has 6 nonfiction books. 6, I love it. So send me some messages and tell me what you want to talk about. I am taking into consideration all your comments and shaping these talks because it's helping me declutter my mind. All these things I want to talk about. It's helping me focus. It's great. And I am going to transfer all these talks, which I've saved, onto YouTube. I'm going to start a YouTube channel so you can access them after 24 hours or whatever, and you can watch how the shirt slowly deteriorates as it rips under the pits and shreds itself to a Tibetan prayer flag. Woo! Okay. Okay, I'm going to get ready for my practice, and I hope you join me. It'll be live for 24 hours if you want to do it later. Okay, much love to everybody. Ali, okay, namaste.